Is this you? I just messed it up.
Mark, you all made sure that they didn't land the first punch tonight, but when they did land, when you had a response lately in the game in the second half, what did you like best about the way the team kind of rallied after a tough shooting third quarter and we were able to kind of turn the game again?
Yeah, I thought, we shot 5 free throws in the second half. We shot 3 for 19 from 3 in the second half. And so it's hard to score when that's the context, and our defense stayed with it. Like we still stacked stops despite not a great shooting half and not a lot of easy stuff. And so I thought just our perseverance in the third to just grind through that quarter. We ended up with a bunch of offensive rebounds, I think 12 in the second half. And so we just manufactured, second half offense to a win.
We talked so much about Alex Caruso and just his presence, but how about just tactically, the impact that you felt like he had tonight in terms of the X's and O's on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a unique player. You can put him on Morant, you can put him on Jackson, you can also put him on somebody else, and he can be a really disruptive help defender, which I thought he got into the game a couple times with the block on Morant, the jump ball on the Jackson post up. So he was unbelievable. That group to start the third when the game, was a little muddy in that group to start the fourth. The game was a little muddy in the third, and they came out as a 7-0 run. It was defense, and he was a catalyst in that group.
I know it's not just these two guys, but you check and does what you see from them as far as the way they orchestrate the offense while Shea still tries to find a rhythm.
Everybody's been great. The guys have done a great job of playing with aggression. We've got good stuff from Kaysen tonight. We've got great stuff from Hart in the first half on the pick and rolls. Dub obviously great, Check great. Caruso offensively was really good. Wiggins gave us a lift during that run. And then I thought Shea stabilized the game in the third. When it was getting a little dicey, we went to him a couple times and he made some settling shots for us. So all the way through, Joe, everybody that touched the court played with confidence, played the right way. And we're going to need that, in all these games. It's going to be different guys on different nights.
I know last year, this year, it wouldn't have been one of any of these guys or ball and throw, but the places you put him on the floor and how effective he is from there. Yes, I posed for how effective he is from there. How much did that change your offense from last year's season?
Yeah, I mean, less of a comparison to last year, because we've had an 82-game season, but he's an impactful player on both ends of the floor. He's just a great rim protector, great communicator, really, really good block-out player, rebounder. And then on the offensive end, we've talked about it, but the screening, frees guys up, and he's a roll threat. And then if you go try to get the ball, he can make all the plays in and around the pocket, and he's an elite offensive rebounder on top of all that. So shows up in every game, but certainly showed up again tonight.
Mark Daigneault had the ball swung through, put up the catch, you get the dunk, and that's something that we've talked about him working on this season. What were those feelings like for you whenever that paid off in a big moment?
Yeah, he played with good confidence tonight. The first game, him and Alex only played a few minutes because of the margin. I didn't go back to him for very long in the second half. I think he only got one shot in the whole game, so stepped into a corner three tonight. It played with confidence. He's built that throughout the course of the year. And we're going to need everybody, at different times to make plays. And I thought that was on display again tonight.
And just like typically you guys give up a lot of corner threes tonight, 3 from Memphis. Is that by design defense, or is that just more of just Memphis feeling out their offense?
It's not what we want to give up, but there's other things we prioritize higher, so we end up giving a lot at times. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it, but I thought we did a good job, for the most part tonight. We still won the second half despite a tough offensive half from the three-point line, not generating free throws. And I thought the defense had a lot to do with it. So we just got to keep stacking the possessions. But we got to understand, Bain, Jackson, and Morant took, I think, 60 out of their 92 shots tonight. So, they're going to keep going to those guys. We got to keep our body on them and keep them playing away from their strengths.
Mark, you guys had a 21-3 advantage in fast break points. What do you attribute that to?
A little bit of turnovers. I thought we ran well on misses tonight. I thought we did a really good job on the defensive glass. That's not a given against that team. And so, we got to keep them from getting extra possessions in that area of the game. But if we can turn them over, protect the ball, like we didn't have great shooting tonight, but we had a really clean game in the floor game. with turnovers. And so, possessions matter, and we won the possession battle tonight.
Were you more impressed by the fact you were able to get 21 or hold them to 3?
Probably holding them to 3. They're a really, really good transition team. They try to dictate pace. I thought the Dallas game was a good signal in terms of how they're going to play when they go back home here. They lost a road game, disappointing road game at Golden State, hard-fought game. They go home, backs against the wall, and they were super fast in that Dallas game. And so I think that's a good cue for us to understand how they're going to approach this game. They're going to come out very, very fast and try to race us off the floor. And we got to be ready for that when we go to Memphis.
He only forced 15 turnovers, and they only keep that guys to the 20, so he led to 25 points that you guys got.
Yeah, good conversion, great job of pitching it ahead. The guys have done a great job of throwing the ball ahead. We've gotten some runouts as a result of that. We're scraping, those loose balls off the floor. So, yeah, I thought the defensive intensity tonight I thought was impressive because, the other day the wind was at our back offensively a little bit, and we really had to grind through that third quarter and fourth quarter because our offense wasn't humming. And despite getting good shots, and the defense really stepped up.